idea where I look. I just look around.
All right.
It's hard to know where to find my answers, I'll tell you that.
All right, opening statement, then we will take questions.
I feel like my opening statement is we're coming home with the team that's playing pretty well, and we got a good opponent on Thursday night in Florida International, and I would love Marshall fans to get here and watch this team play. I think if you follow on social media, if you pay attention at all to people that have been to games, they enjoy their time here, and this is a team that plays hard. They're going to get on the floor. They represent our university really well, and we got off to a really good start. We kind of survived a road trip with a great fourth quarter at Rice to come home, I guess, one game out of first in a really tough women's basketball league and a very tough side for that matter. Western Kentucky's 5-0, we're 4-1. Charlotte is 2-0, and it's a team that's playing well and coming home. So let's get in here. Every seat in this building is $5, and there's a lot of really good seats, good game atmosphere, and come out here and support these young women.
Questions?
Coach, what does FIU specifically do that makes them such a good challenge for you?
They press. They're one of the few teams in our league that every make we're going to see some kind of press, and so they really try to play pretty fast. Them more than anybody else is going to play that way. So they've got quite a few different looks that you have to try to, I guess, parse as you're playing. Which one is it? What are they going to do? And, so that's very much different. We've played, I guess, 5 games, and for the most part they've been half-court games. We are a half-court team, defensively, offensively, so it's a little bit of a shift for us to prepare for a team like this. And, they're coming off a really good win against Middle Tennessee at home. Middle Tennessee is year in and year out one of the best programs in mid-major basketball. I mean, they're very good every year. And so to get that win at home for FIU, they build some momentum coming in here as well. So it's a good team. They got one of the better players in the league, Kyla Nelson, a left-handed kid that she can really shoot it with range. I think she's a transfer from Pitt. She can get you in the paint, does a lot of good things there too. So big challenge, different to play against and perform against. So we'll have to, we've been working on that all week, how to play well against a team that plays a little different.
Tony, to your point about the fans, don't you think your young ladies kind of deserve it? The way they played this year, sort of never say die, pulled one out in the fourth quarter on the road. It sort of is rewarding for that hard work that this group really doesn't give up.
Yeah, I don't deserve, not deserve. I think if they come, if you invest $5, I think you're going to have fun, and that's what I'll say. And I think that, I think we want them here. I'll tell you that. And I don't think they'll be disappointed if they come, and that's kind of my point behind, I think anybody that's been to games, almost to a person, they walk out of there and go, God, I've never been to one of those. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, come on. Thursday at 6 o'clock, Thursday at 6 o'clock. So this group's playing really well. They really are. They're playing well together. And I've said this before, they celebrate each other's good days. And we've got good depth. So, Alexis Johnson kind of out of nowhere had an unbelievable day to help us beat Rice the other day. And I appreciate that out of this team. They're from different spots and different places. We've got a lot of people that can hurt you in a basketball game. So, it's a good basketball team right now. We're in a good place in league standings. We're fighting for a lot coming home. And, it's 3 straight games on the road. We went 2-1. It's difficult to do in college basketball. And now we're coming home. So come out and see us if you're not doing anything on Thursday night.
Kind of going off of that, your squad seems like they just have this unreal chemistry, and it seems like it's there maybe both on and off the court, but obviously you guys came back in that fourth quarter. Do you think that chemistry is what's kind of helping them, fight back and in those contested, moments?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that they get along well, and they like each other. They like fighting for each other. And you see that with how they they're interacting through the course of a game. You know, I mean, when you coach college basketball, you're coaching a whole bunch of people that were the best player on their team. And then you've got to get them together, and then a whole bunch of them are not anymore, you know? And so to have a group that right now doesn't care about that is difficult to do. We've got that working in our favor right now. They've got to have a long-term, and I've said this for quite a while now, that I think our task is we've got to stay here through the ups and downs of college basketball. We've got 13 more games in conference play, you know? And so I do think that this weekend we did show quite a bit of that. We got, you know, kind of handled on Thursday at North Texas. Rice really jumped on us early in that game, and we could have kind of handled it in a way that maybe turned to a bad place, and we didn't. And, you know, you're going to talk to Aaliyah Dunham here in a second. She was fantastic at Rice, basically kept us in it in the first half so that we could finally flip it and start playing well, which we did. And I think the chemistry to kind of hang in there, be stable through the ups and downs, vital in college basketball. And I think we're developing that kind of identity. This is a long game. There is runs both ways. Have a level head about your competitiveness and the little things that you're doing. You know, we've played 5 games now. Those things have been pretty steady.
Coach, go ahead, Keith.
I was going to ask you, Coach, about Aaliyah, the way she's played and really kind of been a leader for you guys. Does that kind of validate her coming home and really making this a good decision for her?
I hope so. I mean, I think that's I knew when she told me she was coming that it was gonna benefit us. You know, I mean, she's a great ball handler, great decision maker. You know, we tried to get her the first time around. You know, we wanted her bad the first time around. She told us no. We tried to take a long game approach to that, though. Still had a good relationship with her and her family from the first recruiting process. And, you know, but I think, did she make the right decision? That's a question for her. I think so, you know. And she played her tail off at Rice, you know, 17 points, 7 assists. And a lot of her assists were just, they got us point-blank shots that you just really can't miss. And so it wasn't us it was her manufacturing baskets for other people on her team. And in a day where it took us a while to get going, for her to go out and get 17 and 14 layups, or 14 points on layups, that was huge to us winning that game. So I think, and I think she would tell you this too, she's still to a certain degree rounding into form. You know, she's not shooting it where she's capable of. I think she got a lot closer to that at Rice. You know, but it's been a little up and down for her how she's playing she's playing well on offense. The shots are not going in at the rate that they should, you know, and we're trying to get her to have a long game approach on that too. And I think to a certain degree we have that in different spots on our team. We have the ability to continue to get better on offense. And I know the other day with her, you saw that. I think she started to that was a performance more like I anticipated seeing quite a bit in terms of her scoring. She's been very consistent with getting other people's shots. I think her scoring should be somewhere around 10 all the time, you know, and hot, cold, whatever. It hasn't been there yet, but we got a lot of year left too, so.
Coach, I was going to ask you, you made some promotional moves in the department. Coach Popovic elevated to assistant coach. Talk a little bit about that. What does that do for you? How does that help you in your program?
Well, that's not really a secret. It just took us a while. He's been going through some immigration stuff, so he finally got his green card. So he got officially promoted to the salary and the job that he's been, you know, working at legally, I might add, to this point. So he's a great. You know, our players really like him. He works really well with our student athletes. He's got a lot of passion for them. Sometimes too much. Sometimes I have to calm him down. He's pretty loud over there, but they know that he's really for them. He works with our post players. Got a really good rapport with them. works hard with them outside of practice. In assistant coaches, that's what you want, is can they get to people and get them in the gym and make them better, and he can do that. And then, we're starting to work internationally. A lot of people are, recruiting-wise. He's got really good international background. Works for the Serbian national team, which was won the Euro Championships this summer. So I think they beat France to win the gold medal in the Euros. So it's not only that he works for a team, he works for a really good one in the summer. So there's a lot good. He came from Texas Tech. He's got a lot of skills, and we try to use as many as we can.
Coach, when you look at Aaliyah, getting back to her really quick, one of the things that I feel like sort of hindered you all in the past is whenever you all did go through those offensive walls, sometimes the head would get down and it would hinder you on the defensive end. Is that one of the biggest contributions that Aaliyah brings, is no matter where her offensive game's at, her defense has never wavered?
Yeah, I think she's really consistent. She's really consistent. I don't know if she'll tell you this or not. I'm kind of looking at her right now, but she's laughing because she knows what I'm about to say. I actually showed her quite a bit of defense at North Texas, and it wasn't quite what we wanted it to be. So her and I had a short chat on the way out there. Do we want to do that again or not? And then she had 17 and 7 assists. So I told her, well, maybe I'm going to do that more often in film. I'm going to find the things that you're not doing well, and we're going to do it that way. But Aaliyah plays really hard. So the head of the situation is your point guard. And she has a pretty good standard every day of a level of concentration, focus, and effort that's pretty high. So it didn't surprise me that she bounced back. Defensively, she gives us a dimension. We haven't been super athletic at the point guard spot, especially from a defensive end before. And I do think that's changed our defense to a certain degree. Her and I are probably – I'm still trying to learn how to use that in the system that we have, if that makes sense, to our advantage, but also make sure that she's where she needs to be for the way that our defense is built as a team. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's that's the truth about basketball. We don't extend our defense a lot. She is a really good extender of that. That's what she's great at, is pick them up from a long ways away, pester them. And I'm probably still trying to learn how do we do that so that she can do it and still – our defense has been pretty solid, but like I've said on here before, we kind of let you do quite a bit with the ball up until 17 feet and in, and then it gets really hard. So we're still trying to develop all the little things like that we can use.
When you look at these next two games, obviously you already played FAU, and that was a game into the fourth quarter. You all took that one over, but whenever you face an FIU and an FAU, what are the biggest challenges that you face going up against those opponents? Well,
the press thing from FIU, that's the first thing. And then, FAU, that we've already talked about that as a team too when we kind of looked ahead at the whole week. I mean, that was a heck of a game until we just made every shot. I mean, we've got to understand, and I think our team does. We have to understand what that game was actually like. And then we made 8 straight shots, and 5 of them were threes, and it went from very, very tight to, a little smoother at the end, but it was difficult all the way. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just making sure that we understand that we're in for a dogfight. They made a lot of shots on us early. FAU can stretch you out on the floor at different positions, and we need to do a better job of that at the start of the game on Saturday. But FIU is going to really pressure us. They're going to try to take you out of offense. They're going to try to create turnovers. We haven't seen that yet. I don't believe we have all year. We saw it in a scrimmage back in October,
Still to that point too, I mean, this time last year it would have been Savannah trying to figure out how to work through the defense sort of solo. Having Aaliyah's got to take a lot of that pressure off and sort of gives you that 2-guard to sort of wear FIU out and make them go side to side and sort of be able to get into your sets a little more smooth, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of confidence in our guard play, and it's the 2 that you just talked about, but it's others as well. I mean, I think we've got pretty good depth at the guard positions, and I think we have good decision makers, and if you look at statistically the course of our year, You know, we're not a high turnover team very often, and that needs to be the case on Thursday. You know, we need to handle that. You know, that's what they're going to try to get us to do. We need to handle it with poise, and at the same time, we need to put some pressure on them if they're going to extend their defense. I think we have the players we need to stay on the attack at the back end of it and shoot the right shots. You know, that's part of it too, is they try to speed you up. So I'm good with early shots, provided that they're the right ones, you know.
Anything else?
Here's Aaliyah.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.